What up, SNA assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast video. This is first we're gonna be talking about Monday Night Raw, like what's happened on the Red Brand, like from start to finish. And speaking of start to finish, like let's just say I already knew like half of and partially the things what just happened on this broadcast. Like before, like because I heard from sources like from previous videos and articles and stuff from the news, like yeah, but I only watched some of it, so I'm like, and but one of the reasons is because I haven't heard all of them, but even so, I would still make a video because I haven't told you guys about this, and I want to tell you assassinators anyways on what just happened, and it was pretty. It was a pretty decent show. Like nothing great. Maybe that'll be on next week's Raw, like when it goes back to being live. But I knew like from the beginning and the end what was gonna happen. But I'm gonna get to that like right here very shortly. But I might let you know that. But the other stuff I did not know what was gonna happen. Like I was completely out of the dark on the other things that was happening. But the other part of Raw, I knew what was going to happen. But yeah, we. But other than that, like what we saw was pretty, decent. Like I said, like nothing like too incredibly, unrealistically great, but still decently great for a Monday Night Raw show that deserves a decent rating. But we're gonna get into that, starting things off with the women, like coming out, like well, the current women's world champion Liv Morgan and her bodyguard Raquel Rodriguez. With Raquel Rodriguez looked like she had some kind of like some fist brace, like that said like said live once or something, like which that looks way too similar to somebody that had some brace of their own, but like where it shows. Like shows like so their nickname, which I'm not going to get into right now, looking way too similar to a certain particular another women's champion, like which probably Naomi and Million Dollar Bailey will know I'm referring to. But it's where we got Liv Morgan was like, yeah, all right, like ladies and gentlemen, like welcome to Monday Night Liv Morgan, or Monday Night Morgan, which I'm not sure if that has the same ring to it with Monday Night Rollins, uh, but like I guess I'll accept it like it is right now. But yeah, this is where it's not like a totally different show, not nothing to do with wrestling. Sounds like something like from a sitcom, like with like with whether it's with Morgan related or not. But it's where the Morgan's like. And this is what she was like, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. And I know Jade and Bianca are here. Like I know they want to pick a fight with us, but especially with the greatest women's world champion of all time, and maybe like one of the only three, like which is me. This is where they're like, and I know they didn't came alone because they have some backup of their own. Some from one and from their show, while the other is on our show. And then like, so now we need to bring out our friends that we created, like which are not like originally friends of ours, but they're commonly against you, Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, and the rest of the girls on SmackDown side is where they brought them out, and it was none other than Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, and what's her name, Tiffany Stratton. They came out there to get. This is where they get ready to get to the point and call out the baby faces. But before we got into that is where we got Nia Jackson, Liv Morgan, and Raquel. The one thing I want to know about one thing about them. This is where she got on the microphone. She was like, and she's like, let me make this very clear. Like I don't like you, Raquel. This is where she pointed at her first. This is where she was like, but at the same time, I do not, but I don't hate you or dislike you. Like I don't hate you, but I don't dislike you either. And this was like, and as for you, Liv, I don't like you either. Like if we have our businesses before, but now it's past. And this where what, and then this where when she said she don't like her, this where we got Liv Morgan. Like, that's okay. Like starting to sound like somebody that I know that I'm probably looking at, or who I'm looking at, I should say. This is where like that's how a phrase that they would say. This is where we got Nia Jackson I don't dislike you either. But the thing is, I never thought of I never had a single thought of you at all. And this is where fans start chanting, "What?" Like if a certain Olympian was there, none other than the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. But luckily they weren't in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They were in what city they were in? I forget, like when they did the tapings at, but yeah, it was definitely not in Pittsburgh for sure. Like, or else, yeah, Kurt Angle probably would have had his night, would have probably had his night ruined. Even in interviews, he does say that does get on his nerves when the fans are chanting "what," even if it at a WrestleCon event. But this is where we got or meet and greet, I should say. But and this is where it's like, but the only three that I hate the most right now is Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. And then this is where Nia Jax continues. Like, I just cannot stop thinking about you three women. You all I came for. And this is where we got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargo, and Naomi themselves came out to confront them because they know the rules on page 1408. Like if you call somebody by their name and then they call, and then if they happen to be in the same building, they're gonna come out. And this is where Bianca was like, if you want to do something about it, then do it. What's stopping? But this is where Bianca was like, but there's one thing that you're right about, Nia. We did not come alone. And this is where then her former arch enemy, that's now ally, I guess you could say, came out. It was Io Sky. This is where they walked out with face to face with the heels. This is where. And this is where then Bianca Belair then continue on the microphone once they got in the ring. This is where it was what she did. And it was what Bianca said. And this is where then Bianca Belair, when she got on the microphone, this is where when they got all four women got in the ring with the five. What? No, it was Liv Morgan's like, oh, okay, I see right here, y'all ready, and that's really cool, but I don't think you are even with us, you're quite outnumbered actually, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and she started counting from herself to I'll say either Tiffany Stratton or Candice LeRae, and it's where it's 1, 2, 3, 5 of us, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, and then it's where Bianca Belair's you're right, we are missing a member, but no worries. We happen to found her backstage. And this were theme music, and y'all will not believe what just happened. It was none other than Rhea Ripley. And I heard this from a wrestling article, that Rhea Ripley is coming back, and she's gonna join Team Bianca and the rest of the baby faces. And that's where then she was not only she was back, but she had the face, was that protected shield face for her nose that Cody Rhodes probably gave her, which I think he did. Was it Rhea Ripley? But anyways, yeah, he was exactly like the one the Cody Rhodes were when he was undashing Cody, when he was in that rivalry with Rey Mysterio back in 2011, when Rey Mysterio accidentally broke his nose with that 619. But this is where we got Rhea Ripley went directly to Liv Morgan. This is where then she hit her face first. This is where she threw Liv right over the barricade in the bottom right side. This is where we got Bianca fighting Nia Jax, while Jade Cargo got Raquel. We got Naomi with Candice LeRae, and Io Sky with Tiffany Stratton, just going on war. This is where the Io Sky went right up on the top rope, hits the genius over the moonsault right onto everybody in the ground. That's where we got Jade, Bianca, Naomi, and Io Sky stand up tall. And this is where Rhea Ripley joined them with their protective mask that she must have got from Cody that allowed her to use. Now he's not using it no more because he don't have a broken nose. I don't think you ever will have one. But what are your thoughts on Rhea Ripley's shocking return? Were you expecting this? If it wasn't for the rumors and the spoilers of the event from last week when it was pre-taped, I would not have expected this. This would have been a huge shock. But this is where we move on to the next slide. This is where we got, but the thing is and also the thing is this is where I have a question who's going to be fighting Liv Morgan? Is going to be Io or Rhea Ripley? maybe it could be both. We could be seeing a triple threat match at Saturday night's main event, like the earliest, I should say. But maybe it could be like the debut Raw on Netflix, even either. Like maybe I think I'll put my money on Saturday night's main event because I don't think every match is going to fit on the Raw debut show. But moving on forward, we got the recap of the bloodline going face to face this past Friday when they were against what's their names Tama Tonga Tangaloa, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, the OG bloodline, until they got ambushed by Bronson Reed and got tsunami by him. That's where they showed like Bronson Reed like was absolutely there because his main event match against Seth Rollins, and like along with the new bloodline. When I said old, I mean new. But it's where we got the next match coming up next. It was Rey Mysterio and what's her name? Zelina Vega, like in a mixed tag match against what's his name? Chad Gable and what's his name? Ivy Nile. And this is where we got, this was probably what I would rank this. Maybe this bronze trophy award of the night. I'll say, yeah. Am I kidding? Maybe it could be the silver trophy. I'll say give us the silver trophy. It was really great. These performers did a super tremendous job, and even Ivy now and Chad Gable just improving even more in the ring. Like even though they were already really great, but they just got to the next level. Like if you put them in a singles world championship match individually, respectively, like I don't think nobody would not mind competing in a type of match like this the way they were competing, but. It's just a genuine what's that called, a comparison, just a genuine comparison and an example. Like I'm not compare. I mean a genuine. I'll say not just a comparison, but just a genuine example. Like if you put them in any match, they're going to be making it really good and entertaining. But let's move on to the next slide. Here's where the show WWE were in Las Vegas for the complex convention in Las Vegas, where the likes of Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Rey Mysterio, and even Travis Scott were there, and they even announced that that Monday Night Raw will be on Netflix on June 6th. And for those that's going to be in the area where they're going to be located, which is going to be in Los Angeles, California, at the Interdome, then make sure to get your tickets now. Pre-sale on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. But in 4 days, this Friday will be the day, and then but you can get them a Tickets Master. And let me know down in the comments below if y'all gonna be attending that episode of Raw on the debut show on Netflix. But this is where we got Braun Breaker was getting ready backstage because he has a match against Sheamus in the Intercontinental Championship. This is where we got. This is where we got Chad Gable just immediately ambushed Rey Mysterio from behind. This is where he started hitting some right hands with, while Ivy now tried to attack Zelina Vega, but she was prepared. She started throwing punches right back at the female member of American Made. This is where Rey Mysterio dug out the clothes out of Chad Gable. This is where we got Rey Mysterio like, you're not the only goofy Olympian that I took down before, and you won't be sure as hell the last. Booyaka. And this is where then he went for a slide Hurricane Rana right onto the Master Olympian. This is where he gets thrown right to the right side. He then gets slide kick right into the left leg. This is where he started getting shoulder bump right into the midsection. This is where then we got Rey Mysterio start hitting some right hands right on top of him. But the fans start counting along with the legendary 20-year lucha veteran. This is where we got Ivan. I was like, you can't do that to Master Gable. And this is where Rey Mysterio was like, oh yeah? Says who? And this is where then we got Chad Gable flipping right off of him. This is where then he tried to hit a right hand onto Zelina Vega, which it looked like it seemed like she was about to do, but she patted right in the head. This is where Zelina Vega took this very angrily. This is where she tried to jump right onto her. This is where we got That's where we got Ivy Nile. Then help Chad Gable start stomping Rey Mysterio right into the corner on the bottom right side, trying to provoke Zelina Vega even more for her to beat her up. This is where we got Chad Gable. Like, yeah, like as I planned it to be, like a thank you. Like, no, like I don't do no thank yous no more. Like I take this job very seriously now. Like I'm just gonna say, like, like, like made with greatness or some blah blah blah. This is where he starts stomping on the Rey Mysterio. Right to the bottom left side is where we got. That's where he dipped him from the bottom right side. I mean, left side to the upper right side is where he bounced right off the turnbuckle. This is where we got Chad Gable. Then go for a pin, but this is where we got what's his name? Rey Mysterio kicks out at 2.7, if I'm mistaken. And this is where we got Chad Gable throw Rey Mysterio in the upper right side, bounce right through it. This is where we got Chad Gable right splash on him. Rey and elbows him right to the face. Rey then try to go for a moonsault, but this is where we got Chad Gable going for electric chair maneuver. This is where Rey Mysterio then hits him right hands to the head. This is where he flying head scissors him right to the right side, right onto the floor. That's where, when he eliminated Triple H and Randy Orton back in 2006 Royal Rumble. And this is where she gives, and this is where he also gives the hot tag to Zelina Vega. This is where she started going for clothesline, trying to get some revenge and justice for both her and her mentor and fellow LWO member. And she did a pretty good job. She looked a bit too similar to somebody that Liv Morgan's trying to be as well, like that the other company that's a particular champion over at the other company, which I'm not going to get into right now. It's a different video for a different day. But this is where we got, given that Zelina Vega had the colorful hair and the colorful attire, I'm not going to get into too much in the details, but this is where we got Zelina Vega. Since Ivy now right to the bottom left side turnbuckle, kicks her right into the face, is where Zelina then go right to the upper right side, who was Harvey Cameron's about a week ago with the other company. But this is where we got, what's her name? Ivy now then goes for a hip toss, into a reversal. Once she Irish whipped her to the bottom corner ropes, but this is where when Zelina Vega was budging, this is where she gets leveled with a clothesline by the female American Made member. This is where she took control, until when the powerful force of all the professional wrestling, the commercial break came on. And once the adverts came off, that's where we saw Ivy now then had her into a snapmare, submission hold, but once Zelina Vega got out of it, then she was still had her arm was pulled right back. I believe it was her left one. This is where we got Zelina Vega try to tag her partner in Rey Mysterio, but it's where Ivan was making it extra difficult for her until she arm dragged her right to the other side, the bottom corner side. That's where we got Chad Gable try to grab on the leg of Zelina Vega. He's like, no. That's when the referee's like, stop it. You're not supposed to put your hands on the female talent. And this is where the Chad Gable's like, I know, but I gotta do something to make sure she don't tag in right. So I don't get my rear end kicked. And this looked like Zelina Vega. This is what it looked like Zelina Vega was about to get ankle locked by Chad Gable. But if this was legal, some kind of a no DQ match, he would probably pull the Baron Corbin and attack this female star, like Corbin did when he ended days Becky Lynch. This is where we got. This is where we got him Insegiri kicking Chad Gable. This is where he gives a hot tag to the underdog luchador with him going for clotheslines, a couple of them to be the exact. This is where Irish whipping from the right to left side gets countered, however, by Chad Gable. This is where he tried to close on him. Rey Mysterio ducks, runs right to the right, hit the flying head scissor. This is where then he flips right to the left-hand corner side. This is where Rey Mysterio is like, all right, it's about that time. But this is where once he tried to go for clothesline out of the ring, this is where he gets flipped right over by Chad Gable. Rey Mysterio's shoulder bumps him right to the midsection. Gets insecurity by the underdog luchador. This is where Rey Mysterio goes up in the bottom left corner side, hits a flying leg senton drop. This is where it's all Rey Mysterio wraps Chad Gable's right arm right between his legs, try to go for a schoolboy roll up, which is kind of the most devastating move and all the professional wrestling, which is where he kicks out at 2.8. This is where we got Mysterio picks up Gable, bounces right to the right side, but he gets countered to the left side. Chad Gable bowed his head once Rey Mysterio was running to the left. He gets kicked right into the head. This is where Rey Mysterio goes for a springboard moonsault. This is where we got Chad Gable for right out of it. This is where he picks him up right in the shoulders, then hits him with a flip over DDT plant maneuver. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Rey Mysterio got the shoulder up at 2.9. This is where Chad Gable like, that should have been a 3. This is where the referee confirmed no, this was a 3. I mean, a 3. It was a 4 or 2. It was a 2. I said 4. A 2 is where we saw Chad Gable go up right up on the top rope in the upper right side, about to plant to hit a diving headbutt. But this is where we got Rey Mysterio tripped him right over, which he landed right onto the family jewels. And I was like, it looks like you're not going to add a new member in the family. Which that's kind of unfortunate. This is where we got Zelina Vega, then gets leaped right onto the top, right? Went by the help of Rey Mysterio, which she hits the Hurricane Rana onto Chad Gable. This is where he landed right on the outside. This is where we got Ivy now to try to run right to the rope, but this is where we got you got Zelina Vega. Then and we got her actually grab onto the upper ropes in the upper corner, but she was supposed to grab on the middle ropes to make Ivy now run right through them. This is where we got Rey Mysterio hits a lion salt like if he was his former, colleague, I guess you could say, that used to be in the program with. Not right now, Birdie Bird. This is Monday, not like Friday, or even a primetime game. I could review. Okay, never mind. This is where we got Rey Mysterio was like his former colleague over at the other company. I'm not sure if I mentioned him by name, but he still obviously aren't. They're just good friends. And Rey Mysterio is a mentor of hers, and Vega is the protege of the former world champion. But this is where we got. Let's see. This is where we got Chad Gable is very upset, and this is where he starts shoving what's his name? The Creed brothers, with them being very angry and frustrated, and when they try to comfort him, he's like, "I know where were you at when I need your help the most?" And this is where they're like, "But boss, we weren't allowed to be in this match, we were barred from ringside, pretty much." But this is where they start. They teased this split with Chad Gable pushes him and then slapped Julius Creed, which I was like, that must be the straw that broke the camel's back. But that's where we got Chad Gable you need to listen to me when I ordered you to do a simple task. I gotta do the on mine. This is where he slapped him again. This is where we got. That's where we got. That's where it started. About the clothesline. What's his name? How Otis nearly did to Chad Gable, or eventually did do to Chad Gable, I should say. But it's where they start motivating Julius Creed, get back on track. This is where he pushed his little brother Brutus. Brutus pushed him back. And they thought, okay, we need to do whatever we can to be better than ever. But this is where Chad Gable made sure to get the team back on the same page. I was in the feud. Because that's probably the only available babyface faction that they can feud with. But let's hope this won't be overstayed its welcome. Let's hope it'll be something like a little appetizer until they get into a major feud with a faction with at least one female member in here. To be feuding with what's her name, of course. What's her name? Ivy Nile, that's what her name is. But this is where we got Finn Balor didn't start talking. This is where we got Finn Balor was talking to Liv Morgan. This is where he's something about we got each other's backs for each other. This is where Liv Morgan, you start thanking him because he must have promised that you'll have have her and Dom's back if they have theirs. Which that's what he said. Dom, It is what it's Dom, you single-handed defeated Damian Priest in the main event of Monday Night Raw, in your first ever main event Raw singles match, and he was you are the man, Dom, and it made it both of you boys. Sugar, y'all gonna show everything exactly what the War Raiders need to see coming when we defend our titles against him. And I was oh yeah, they did see something coming, but but and not in a very concerning way. More likely, into the World Tag Team Championships concerns, because they should be worrying like about their chances of being the World Tag Team Champions at all. But it's where then we got them hyping him and JD McDonough as tag partners start hyping up Carlito and Dirty Dom to take him out. And this was like, yeah, I know the War Raiders for a very long time. I believe this was a reference in both of their times in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's where then he was like, yeah, I know for a long time, and I know their weakness is as well. He was like, so go after them. And that's all you need to do. And then I like how they reference like both wrestlers that happen to work in the same company, whether that's in New Japan or TNA, or maybe the other company in recent years, from the last 5 years, which they celebrate their 5th anniversary a month ago of their Wednesday night show, which I'm not going to talk about, even though I'm giving too much of an obvious reference, but I'm not sure if I should mention them by name. I'm not trying to be called out for it, but this is where we got Finn Balor's like, yeah, if you piss them off, you can make them more angry. And we get but you're a great Dominic Mysterio, Dirty. Like, this is what I know you're gonna do absolutely all right. This is where they do a fist bump on Dirty Dom and Carlito. This is where they wish them good luck with JD McDougall's like, yeah, like y'all overcome them, and this is where they start over exaggerate. That's where JD McDonough was like, okay, like I need to talk to you. Come over in the corner. This is where we got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were in the conversation as well. This is where JD McDonough knew that they were not going to actually go win, so they had a plan B. With them saying like, what if they hypothetically don't win and take care of the job, which they know that's going to be a genuine a concerning statement. So they were probably at least a step ahead, like into their advantages of retaining their tag team. But despite having the moment, despite having the advantage of this moment, like I don't think that's was going to overpower. Yeah. Anyway, just we're moving on. We got the Miz like in a vignette with the Final Testament. With them pretending to change his ways, like with Karrion Kross like playing along with him, like pretending about to break his legs when he said like he needs to move on to the live. And that's where the Miz then claimed that he should earn an Oscar for that performance, which low key, I don't think he's lying. Like he should deserve an Oscar for that performance. Like with him pretending that he's going to take a leave of absence and make it look like that he's telling a unaware Karrion Kross this question when they already rehearsed this, which I'll say now the Miz, he looked like a really intriguing actor. Like I was like, how come he's not being signed by the Paradigm Agency, if not already? Which I think he probably did sign up for that. Like we just don't know it, like because he don't probably put all his public announcements there. And this was like, yeah, like you. That's what it's like, and you think you're gonna put Red on me as a masterpiece? Like yeah, those freaks, like the freaks that they need me, like me. What is start cracking up with Karrion Kross on the side? This is what Karrion Kross like. And all I would do is like what I always do best, and I always show the truth. And that the truth is like, and this was like, and the Wyatts are just pathetic, undependable people that use other people to get better in the head. Basically, like in the Wyatts are indeed like invincible, like they say they are, and this is where the Miz then adds in like, yeah, this is exactly what the jump start we needed. That been wait, but like you're like and we should. He was like, and he was like, and yeah, like, and I saw all of them like individually, like in all the set and the stage and the camera, like it was none other than Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, Nikki Cross, and I get it, and none other than Bo Dallas, also known as Uncle Howdy. This is where then we got Karrion Kross like, and it's an eye for an eye situation, like, and I'm on for you, like, and I will assist that the consequences. Like, and I'm gonna continue to play that game, like that of taking my control. And this is where then he gave a facial look, and this is where he It's where he said his usual catchphrase that he used to say all the time in NXT, but he haven't said much like in probably over a year or two now. Like with him with his Final Testament group, like I'm not sure if he ever will say it again, and that was TikTok. That's why he made a huge evil grin when he said so. This is where then we move on to the next slide. This is where they show the in-ring segment between Gunther and Damian Priest in their face-to-face confrontation, where Damian Priest was getting them scared, like last week with Gunther denying that he was. This is where then we got Damian Priest and telling him like he's afraid of him, and then he can't beat him by himself. And if it wasn't for that meddling fake brother of Priest, which is the form of Finn Balor, like he would still be the world heavyweight champion. But then it's where they showed Ludwig Kaiser came in and he's like, I'm not gonna take this disrespect from the street trash with Gunther, even though trying to tell him to stop, like he don't speak for him, like, and it's where we got Damian Priest knocks him out because he didn't heed his kayfabe father and leader Deling General's voice, and this is where Ludwig Kaiser like, why did you stop me from saying what's right about Priest and him talking all this trash about you? That's where then. And what Gunther then made one thing clear, like when the first reason why is that nobody don't speak for him, like especially like not him or anybody on the WWE roster or in the other company's roster that he has in this envy list that he's waiting for him to join WWE so he can start chopping them all over the place and the ring, like whenever gets in the ring with him, that's where Gunther continues saying, this is what Lucha guys like, I was trying to help, but this is where Gunther's like, hey, like I don't. You and that's not what I meant when I said you need to do better. Like what I mean that you do better, like is you need to realize who you are and you go out there and fight for your own battles and make opportunities for yourself and in your own terms and speak for yourself. Like, but the thing again now, I don't need a mouthpiece. Like he can speak very well for himself, and this what it. And that's where then the Gunther's like, and from now on, like you need to do your own thing and stay away from my own business. Like, and that's where then those are kind of like, all right, yes sir. Like I'm gonna do my own thing, and this is where he walked out. But this is where before Gunther let him go. And that's where then Gunther was like, before I go, like show me what, who I am, like, and look at me right in the eyes, and if you see something different about me, like, or do you still see the old ring general? And that's where Blue guy's like, yeah, like you haven't changed a bit, obviously, like you're still the same Gunther I know and I team with is Imperium. This is where. And this is where it's like, and if I was you, I would suggest you finding some opportunity to be in singles gold like myself. Where I am right now, when I'm facing Damian Priest on SummerSlam. Survivor Series and then SummerSlam rematch. This is where Ludwig guy's like, yeah, like I know exactly who I should target first. And this is where the fist bump is where Gunther's like, all right, that's the spirit. Like I like the enthusiasm right now. This is where Gunther spotted Damian Priest like just about maybe 20 feet away from him, signing autographs like on papers for producers that's telling them the sign these autographs so they can sell them as merchandise online. This is where we saw Gunther then snuck up from behind, tacks him. This is where then he goes for a sleeper hold, but this is where Damian Priest pushes him right into the box like structure in the left, which is in their right. This is where Gunther then tried to go for a right hand, but he ends up getting kicked right into the gut. No, or he trying to hit him with a pipe actually with his right hand that was holding. This is where Damian Priest kicks him right in the gut. This is where Damian Priest kicks him right in the gut. This is where Damian Priest then grab on the wheel the chair in. This is where he sat on it. This is where then that's where they said like that's where he said like a dozen word sentence to him. And he was like. He was like, yeah, like Gunther, like I get that you're a general in the ring, like, but I'm Like, I am the destroyer. Like, and you better remember that. And this is where then Adam Pearce is like, what if, like, and this is where then this is where Adam Pearce is like, yo, what the hell just happened here? And this is where then Damian Priest is like, yeah, you see, like, yeah, I was having the word with your champ, like, and he slipped and fell, and like, I thought I might still give him a pop. And he's like, but yeah, like, I think he fell hard. He fell hard, and he needs some ice. This is where he gave a maniacal chuckle, like if he's still part of the Judgment Day. Obviously, he's not. He's his own guy. He's the single star now, and the baby face. But what is your opinions on who's going to be the winner of the World Heavyweight Championship match? Do you think Damian Priest will finally win the title that he got screwed out of, all thanks to a former ally and a former brother that he thought he could call, but he was nothing but a fake and a liar? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I guess you got to thank Jelly Roll for pointing that out about Finn Balor is nothing but a liar, I guess. But anyways, this is where we got Sheamus that came out because he has his match against Braun Breaker, and maybe this would have probably gotten the second place Silver Trophy award if it wasn't for how it ended. Maybe but at the same time it could be very interesting, like when this happened. But let's just say something screwy happened right here. But I'm not sure if I was a massive fan of it. Even though, like, maybe the only thing I like about it, nobody even got buried or lost some credibility in the finish of the match. But it still was a pretty good match despite the finish. We're going to get into it. Even though it was like a controversial screw job kind of situation, but it still was pretty entertaining, which I hope that we do see a rematch, like, in some capacity, whether if it's at, like, Survivor Series, Saturday night's main event, or the debut Raw on Netflix. But this is where we got the Viking Raiders then was getting prepared and ready for the match. But this is where we got Braun Breaker getting ready for the match because he wants to prove a statement, like, and trying to get some justice for him, from Sheamus, that cost him of becoming a Braun 2 belt, but unfortunately, like, that dream has fell right through the toilet at the moment. But this is where we got Braun Breaker. Then I got the offense on the Sheamus after Sheamus, and then we got a little bit of the offense of himself. This is where he shoulder tackles him. This is where he picks up Sheamus. He gets kicked right into the punch right in the midsection. This is where Braun Breaker fought right back in the right hand, right back. Since Sheamus face first, right onto the ring post on the upper right side. Then the former NXT champion, current Intercontinental champion, hits that flying cross clothesline off the apron right through on the announce table. I'm surprised it did not explode onto them. They just fell right over it and went right to the back of the announce table. But what's the name? Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett had to move out of the way. Smart move for both commentators. All right, this is where we got. Let's see what happened next. I believe we got Braun Breaker was back in the offense side. This is where he brought the former world champion back in the ring. This is where he started hitting some right hands, started punk slapping him. This is where then Sheamus was like, you think that's what's going to phase me? Like, you got to hit harder than that. This is where Braun Breaker, every time he started hitting harder, like whether it's a slap or a punch, Sheamus then hits harder, like with a right hand of his own. And then started some chops, slaps, right hands that look very brutal, like even for Braun Breaker. This is where Braun Breaker tried to fight back. They look like they were trying to start playing wrestling tennis until Braun Breaker ran right to the bottom corner side. Instantly gets intercepted by the Celtic Warrior with a power slam right in the middle of the ring. This is where Sheamus is like not so fast, Fowler. And then this is where Sheamus then started hitting some running axe handles because of course that's his move. This is where he clotheslines him right to the bottom left side. He hits a Broski knee right to the face, and that's where he then tried to clothesline him out of the ring, but he ends up getting flipped right over to the left side. That's where Braun Breaker did not notice that he was still standing. This is where he tried to go for a right hand, but the Celtic Warrior Sheamus then ducks out, was still saying like, hello, Fowler, and this is where he tried to close on him. Sheamus ducks, grabs onto him, holds him from behind. This is where he started hitting some right hands like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is where then he let go of him after that. This is where he goes up by the top rope, try to go for like a top rope with that top rope knee to the face on the Braun Breaker. That's where he tried to go for a cover to the current Intercontinental Champion, trying to make it his and complete his story as Ultimate Grand Slam Champion. But Braun Breaker wouldn't let him. With the right shoulder up at 2.7, if I'm mistaken. And where Sheamus like, why you gonna be like just a couple more centimeter inches away from being a Ultimate Grand Slam Champion. Unfortunately, that did not end up happening. That's where Sheamus to try to go for the pale with the pale justice or whatever it's called, or white noise, that's what it's called, white noise. It was white noise that he hit him with. This is where he but this is where Braun Breaker flipped right out of it, trying to go for a sunset flip into a pin. This is where Sheamus then counter out of his own. This is where it gets the Irish clover leaf. This is where we got Sheamus trying to go for a clothesline. Braun Breaker ducks out of it. Hits like a lumbar check, which I've never thought that the second generation wrestler would do. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Sheamus kicks out at 2.9999999. Double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where Sheamus like, that's the one thing you're not going to be doing. This is where Braun Breaker didn't try to go for a Frankensteiner or avalanche suplex, but this is where Sheamus is hits it right here. Sheamus takes it. He comes across right onto the not Celtic Cross. Like I'm thinking of the wrong Irish wrestler, the white noise. That's what's called. Right to the top turnbuckle in the upper right corner side. Try to go for a cover that way, but he ends up kicking out once again at 2.999. Was it? But that's where we got. Sheamus is like, oh come on, like why? Like why is he not laying down so I can finally achieve my dreams of winning the IC title along with winning the other belts in WWE, win other achievements and accomplishments in his 15-year career in the Stanford-based company. But this is where we got Sheamus going up in the top rope, trying to go for like a flying clothesline maneuver. But this is where Braun Breaker stops him right before he can even attempt to go for the maneuver. Try to go for a suplex after he hit a couple right hands. This is where we got Sheamus push him right off. This is where Braun Breaker and saluted to the fans on the upper right side. Hits a Hurricane Rana right onto the Celtic Warrior with Braun Breaker taking off his suspenders. This is where the new try to get ready to go for a spear onto Sheamus. This is where he I believe was he close of hitting the spear when Sheamus got back up. But this was Sheamus hit a broken knee right into the face onto what's his name, onto Braun Breaker, which he should have hit the bro kick, but that's his finishing maneuver after all. So why not hit that move? But unfortunately, like for Sheamus, like after hitting the knee, is where Sheamus kicked up at 2.9999999, double triple nine minus 0.1 away from being 3. I was like. I mean, some of y'all probably say even if Sheamus did hit the bro kick, you probably wouldn't have actually got the 1, 2, 3. But you never know, like because that move is so deadly and so I'll say traumatizing to the point like I don't think that you would remember what the day, let alone the weeks or the years, is after getting hit with that maneuver even once. But that's where Sheamus then tried to hit this maneuver. Like, I believe it was kind of too late. But Sheamus then was like, brogue, hitting his chest. Try to go for the kick. But Braun Breaker hits the spear in the interception. But that's where Sheamus smartly rolled out of the ring. Braun Breaker was very disappointed. Like, no, don't leave me. Like, this is where he was very heated and very ticked off. That's where they tried to go for a spear. Waiting for him to go for the corner. This is where we saw somebody jump right over and attack him. It was none other than Ludwig Kaiser. That's where then he did the middle drop kick onto Sheamus right onto the turnbuckle. Not turnbuckle, the Simba Steel Steps, I meant to say. That's where we got Ludwig Kaiser if I want to make a name for myself, I got to make it known right here. And then I understand what's wrong with him and Bronson Reed. And I don't think this was exactly what Gunther had in mind. I think he's probably thinking maybe he should. Ludwig Kaiser confirmed that he told him that he won't stop until they're both gone for good, including Sheamus, because their past history of being in the rivalry back a half a year ago. And when do you think this is going to finally end? Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think that Ludwig Kaiser is material enough to challenge for the Intercontinental Champion, just like his master and his leader and Imperium teammate? Let me know down in the comment section right down below about that as well. But this is where we got. But I think that's where I have a theory. Like maybe we will see them like either at Survivor Series or Saturday night's main event, maybe in a triple threat match after Lulu and Kaiser attack both Sheamus and Braun Breaker, which we could possibly see both of them try to get some justice on it. But Gunther would even tell him like, I told you to make a name for yourself and do things like for your own turn, but that doesn't mean you should start making enemies along the way, like very easily, like just because you want a shot at the big gold, like or at the singles title, just like your Ling General. Like you do like in a much more better manner, but it seemed like probably could be a payoff because maybe we could see him win the IC title. But the thing is, I believe when I say this, I'm speaking for everybody that everybody wants to see Sheamus finally win the Intercontinental Champion and finally actually become an Ultimate Grand Slam champion with him completing his list of championships that he won in his past 15 years. But that's where we move on and got to the backstage area with main event Jey Uso trying to take a turn to convince Seth Rollins to join them. Like now that Bronson Reed joined Solo Sikoa. And that's where it's like, can we have you like quick? Like I know you know this, Seth. Like we all got differences with the tribal chief ourselves. Like, heck, like we got differences right now. And, we got differences here with my boy Sammy on the left, and then and my twin brother Jimmy on my back. And then he's like, and then can be honest, like I think we have some differences in some capacity. But this where then Jey Uso's like, but please just was one time. Just think about like your. Now that Bronson Reed is teaming with Solo, let's all put our differences in the side for this company's sake to make this work. Like, so just for this one time, Seth. That's what Sami Zayn's like. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you, Seth. Like all three of us did this before last year with Cody and Randy, which that was true. Like, and every time and then one thing I noticed from the last 2 years. Like when Sami Zayn and Jey Uso are in the same team, like whether if it was with the Bloodline or with Cody Rhodes or whoever, like in Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Jimmy Uso, even Solo Sikoa himself, like they normally win. Like they always win like every single year. Like first it started with 22 and then it was 23. Like the first 2 years when War Games started on WWE's main roster, I guess you could say. And this where it's like, but everywhere Sami Zayn's like again, remember the last time like you you were in a situation that you had differences with another guy on the War Game situation last year. Like when you put your differences aside due to y'all both having the common enemy, and yeah, you put it aside and you made it work. Like you did it with that, and that guy was none other than Cody Rhodes. And he was like, and Cody Rhodes had more bad blood with you, like at that time, and you were willing to do it last year, and you also was willing to be his shield against The Rock and Roman Reigns back at the beginning of this year as well. And he's like, so that's what we're asking you to do, just something similar to Kimber. But this year, and stand side by side at War Games, Seth. And then this is where the Seth was like, and this is where the Seth was like, Sammy, saying, as much as I would like to stand by side with you, and then also stand by side with you, Jey Uso. He was like, why not? He was like, and I would not mind standing by with the Yeet Master and his twin brother right here, even though I'm not sure if I should trust him. Like as much as I like to stand by side, he was like, but I would never, ever, under any circumstances, ever stand side by side by that narcissistic tribal chief Roman Reigns or something like that. Is what, or that tyrant narcissistic Roman Reigns, I guess you could say. This is where Seth Rollins they continue to say, He's like, I'm gonna do. I will not do. Like, he's like, not if it's the last remaining blood that's running out into my body. Like, and that's where it's and I got a lot of reasons why. Like, one of them, this is where it's like, he was like one of them was because I don't want to be in there stand by side by him. Like, that was the whole reason why I made sure that he lost his championship in the first place. Like, but I would love to stand face to face with that instigating and that what's that? That's an instigating, self-absorbed, monstrous beast Bronson Reed in that ring though, and this was like. As much as I like to do, much like to be in a match like this, like against Bronson Reed, and start shredding him into pieces in that steel cage. But the answer is still no. I'm telling you, like, it's not all worth it. The team of Roman, like, the possible consequence on the other side of this, like, Roman Reigns is back in power again. Like, it's not all worth that. And I was thinking, like, yeah, that's true in that capacity, but that's not what they're asking him to do, is to get Roman Reigns back on that track, because like, they know that was the reason why Seth Rollins liked when he lost the title to Cody Rhodes in the first place, because he won't be back in power as the WWE champion. But then I asked him that they're trying to ask like somebody worse than Roman Reigns are going to be doing something similar to that. Like, if he does like take fully control in the bloodline, like, he will be going after someone like Cody Rhodes for that exact same title and make it as his and be the replacement version of Roman Reigns. Yeah. Like, that's the whole point of the story. But this was Seth Rollins was like, he understands that, but he does not want to be with a guy that's trying to get back into that path. And this is what Roman Reigns. This is what Seth Rollins like, but look, like, I'm gonna solve one problem that you're not gonna have to worry about, and that's Bronson Reed. I'm gonna make sure I stomp his ass right into the steel, into that steel concrete floor, or stainless steel steps, out on the announce table, or even inside that squared circle, so bad like he won't be making it to Survivor Series in the next 12 days, I guess you could say, like less than 2 weeks. That's what Seth Rollins like said. Like, he won't be making it to the War Game. Whatever that inside that cage, whatever happened after War Games with the bloodline, with Joe, like that's on you guys. Like, I don't have nothing to say about that, because like this was like, so good luck like with the guys you should be worrying about. Like, and yeah, like, and this was like so long, and this is where he took his jacket, getting ready for his match in the main event against Big Bronson Reed. That's where we got the next match, which was Dirty Dom Mysterio and Carlito, like, taking on the War Raiders. Like, and yeah, let's say their plan of taking care of the War Raiders for Finn Balor and JD McDonough, let's say, went south, and the World Tag Team Champions still have to worry about the former multi-time tag team champions, I guess you could say. Well, they only won the tag team titles twice in WWE, one in NXT, second on Raw. So I guess you could still call them the multi-time tag team champ, but maybe I should say two-time WWE tag team champions, actually. But this is where we got Dakota Kai. This is where we got Dakota Kai and said what's the reason, what makes her smile all the time. And it is where it's like, I'm just trying to keep it together, like, because like I know that like it feels like my dreams are slipping between together. And he's like, and this is what she was like, and maybe I might get healthy and more well and recover, like maybe everything go better, like, you know, everything will go, and maybe not a place for me here anymore. And then the captain of Team Kick to continue saying, I sit there and ask yourself, like, am I good enough in question? Like, this is where you, like, I'm telling you right now, like, but everything that you have, like, she loves this business and she loves more of it, and that's why she still is competing in the ring. And then she's ready, everyone, like, why Dakota Kai is a future champion, like, and this is where then she continues, and she's ready to get into that path. And this is where I was like, and if they had a women's intercontinental champion, I think Dakota Kai should be the first ever champion of that. Now they're looking like they're planning on booking the former women's tag team champion into like a singles megastar. This is the best way to do it. Like if they whenever they present the women's intercontinental championship after they do with the who's going to be crowned the inaugural women's United States champion. I think they should like have Dakota Kai be whether if it's a tournament or ladder match at WrestleMania 41 or whatever. I think she should be the first ever champion. Do you agree with yours truly like about that about this situation? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But moving on forward, we got next week, we got a match booked between Bianca Belair and Nia Jackson, the go-home edition of Raw, because whoever wins going to get the advantage for War Games. It's going to be like 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, while the one that has the disadvantage, I mean, I'm talking about 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I meant to say, while whoever got the disadvantage, there's 2.68, 10. But let me know down in the comments who's gonna win. I assume it's gonna be Nia Jax because like sometimes like we always see like WWE like seeing the heels love getting the advantage, so the baby faces can like will start last, and even for them like starting out last, they normally win like they normally win like even when they have the disadvantage, just as the likes of I'll say like Team Cody last year and maybe even team like Bianca Belair probably 2 straight times a year against Damage Control. But yeah, like y'all probably get the point. Like, but let's move on to the match, tag team match that both Dirty Dom and Carlito got squashed in with the former Hanson like of Ivar shoulder tackle Carlito right in the ground. He fist bump tags Eric in. Is where we got. That's where we got what's his name? Carlito go for a body slam. Then we got that's where then they did the scream like like now it's time for a roll. This is where we got Eric picks up Ivar, body slams him, and he weighs probably like a few more pounds more than Eric. And I was like, how does Eric picking him up? Like if he's just a 5-pound weight. But I believe that's what probably he is. He probably weighs like a few more pounds than he does. So that's why he can easily pick him up like that. Is where we got Ivar and Eric to rip off their shirts like of the War Raiders. This is where we got Eric to picked up the Caribbean Cool Wrestler. This is where we saw him get sent right to the upper right side. He gets tagged on the back by his partner Ivar. This is where his upper hook hit into the midsection. This is where we got Carlito shoves him right to his face and poke him in the eyes. This is where he hits him face first right to the bottom right corner side turnbuckle. This is where we got Dirty Dom Mysterio to start stomping right onto Ivar. This is where the referee's like, all right, stop it. Like he's on the ground, 1, 2, 3. This is where the Dirty Dom's like, all right, I let go. This is where it was like not because he really wanted to let go of him, but this is where we got this is where we saw him like step right back while Carlito tried to hit some like rakes around the face and start squeezing them right in the back of the ropes, like with the referee not looking. When Ivar's like, "Hey, referee, like hello, pay attention like to the match to the other legal guy, like look what he's getting right now." But this is where the referee did not see what was going on with Ivar. This is where we got once Carlito let go, this is where referee turned around. They like he didn't see anything, which he's a gullible, a gullible, incompetent referee. But this is where we got Carlito to hit some fist. Is where like once he gets tagged in by Dirty Dom, this is where he tried to pick up the I'll say the handsome Hanson, I guess you could say, which some of the blind female fans from back in 2020 that used to hang out with Ivar thinks he is. That's where we got Carlito go for a clothesline onto Ivar. He rolls right in the dodge. Tags in Eric. This is where Eric came in, go for a forearm strike. This is where he hits another one. He just come back with you. He hits a headbutt on the Carlito. This is where Dirty Dom tried to attack him. This